reason that you had to care. The traffic is stuck.
If we could fill in the seats up front here, it'd be great.
And you're not moving anywhere. You thought you found a friend to take you out of this place. Someone you.
Thank you. That's funny. Those people get real territorial. So.
Yeah.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm Mike Stengel. I'm the Senior Vice President of Gaylord Hotels and Marriott's Convention Hotel Strategy for our company. I'm sure you will agree that this view is pretty spectacular. There is no other venue in the Washington, D.C. area, and as you heard Doug say out there in the East Coast, that provides this sort of backdrop for events. And if you look around, it's amazing. And at nighttime when Milt's wheel over there is lit up, it's quite spectacular the way it shines on the property. I'm here today to introduce our great speakers. Joining us today for this special occasion is Prince George's County Executive Baker, and the one and only visionary of National Harbor, Mr. Milt Peterson, and Colin Reed, our chairman and CEO from Ryman Hospitality, who is the investor and owner of this property and a great partner with us in Marriott, and that's all from Nashville today. So Colin, welcome. These gentlemen will share with us what this opening means for the county, National Harbor, and the greater Washington, D.C. area, as well as Ryman and Marriott. Please join me in welcoming our first speaker, Executive Baker.
Thanks, Mike. How's everyone doing this afternoon, this morning? I think it's almost afternoon. You know, I was talking to Milt when we were coming up on stage, and he turns to me and he said, "This is great." I said, "Yes, it's great." He said, "Look at that view." I said, "Yes." And he said, "Typical Prince George's County." And I said, "You're right." Colin, I want to thank you. I want to thank Gaylord for what you're doing here. But, you know, if I could just harp on Milt's comments for a minute. This is typical Prince George's County. It is not what people saw when they first came down here, or what even Milt saw when he first came across to this part of Potomac. Mike Errico, you know what it looked like here. Didn't look like this. But in order to build this the way that Gaylord has, you had to have a vision of what was not in front of us, but what could be. You know, we like to say in this administration, we didn't fixate on our past, but we saw a vision of the future and we got there. Milt, Gaylord, National Harbor saw a vision of the future and they brought us here. This ballroom is a symbol of Prince George's County's arrival on the Washington region and the national stage. This ballroom, with its infinity look across the river, sends a signal that we really are the place to be, that this is the area you want to invest in and grow in, that this is the new Phoenix. And so for that, I want to thank Gaylord, I want to thank Colin and the folks who made it possible. We're very, very happy in Prince George's County. It is a new day. And I want to thank the person whose vision helped create this, Milt Peterson. Thank you. Come on up, Milt.
Don't leave, don't leave. This man has been our partner, just like Colin has been our partner developing this place. Think of what he has done in his, what is it, 6.5 years now?
6.5 years.
6.5 years. He has turned this place around. Not upside down, he's turned it around. There were troubles, but because he is so trustworthy, he has changed the opinion of the country, of the region, of Prince George's County, and he has proven that Prince George's County is open for business. And the businesses are coming, and the businesses know that he, and it's like, for instance, he's Hytham. Is Hytham here?
Yes.
Hytham, he, this is open on time. This is open on time because of Hytham. Hytham has followed through on everything through National Harbor, every permit. It isn't as though he sneaks it by. He finds a way of expediting it, and it's been great.
Thank you.
So congratulations on doing a fantastic 6.5 years. I wish we didn't have term limits. I hate losing this gentleman as our partner.
Thank you. Thank you.
The other partner we have is Mr. Colin Reed, Bennett Westbrook. It's 15 years ago. Colin and I were just talking outside. It's 2002 we started talking. And when you look at National Harbor, you say, what is it all about? It's all about economic development, yes, but the basis of it is the power of this place, the power of the vision that this gentleman here had starting. The discussions were business discussions in '02, but about in '04, the wheels in his head for visionary started, and that's how we have this fantastic building. And the building, I think, well, first of all, it's the largest, best hotel convention center on the non-gaming on the East Coast. And here we have it. And National Harbor is built up of many different things, activities, and it's all based, start off with, however, with this as the anchor. Now, we have tried to keep up with the times, but each time we're going to change something, honestly, I would come to Colin, and sometimes Bennett, for instance, the wheel. Remember, Colin, one day I came to you and said, I'd seen it in Paris. And so I took a picture from the hotel here, and I superimposed the wheel on it. I came to Colin, said, what do you think? When we came to do MGM, we didn't do that. We know that we owe a lot of our success to Gaylord and their quality, and especially to their leadership. Every day, this place is run like a town. Kent Digby is like our mayor, Chris Vogel, and working with you guys, it's just every day there's communications back and forth. When we came to do MGM even, I came to Colin and said, who should we use? Who's the best? Because he does big stuff. We had never done anything to do with gaming. So it was Colin who helped us select MGM and the idea of a resort. This is a resort in itself. And so as we have grown, and you don't go back, if you don't grow, if you're not doing new stuff, you're going backwards. Like I'm using my speech, but went someplace. Where'd my speech go? Did you take my speech? Did you take my speech? But as we add things, each helps the other, okay? When we put the wheel in, it helps you, Gaylord. When we bring MGM, it each helps the other. And then Tanger, what do people like to do? They like to eat and drink and shop. Then we found they also some people like to game. So now we have the whole contingent of things. And what we've done, working together with all of the partners here, is have a shuttle, for instance. Now that shuttle, Colin, is running about 2,000 people a day on weekends. And it goes from here, goes through, picks up people at hotels, takes them to Tanger to go shopping, takes them to MGM, and it helps with the traffic, but it also is a connection. It's a connection. And Kent Digby, our mayor, works with Monroe literally on a daily basis, coordinating, because we can't have a big event when you're having a big, I won't go on and on, but the management of this is like management of a city. So now we come to this. Well, you know what? It's almost like you expected. But I knew it was going to be good. Colin Bennett came and showed John and I this plans for this, and I could visualize the view. But man, this is the best. This is absolute. Could you imagine having a wedding here? Could you imagine the dignitaries that are national and international that are going to learn about this and come here? You're already getting the top groups in the world. Now, this is going to blow it out. That's not a nice word, but it is going to blow it out. But when you get a room such as this, it inspires the people. It brings the meeting. I don't care if it's a business meeting. I don't care what it is, but when you give people a spectacular space like this, it just adds to the whole, everything turns better, and it's inspirational. So thank you for having this added to National Harbor. We have been great partners. In fact, I can honestly say that Colin is one of the finest, best executives, and I've learned from him. It's been 15 years we've worked together. And he comes from the corporate world, and he's done big projects, and I have relied on him and his opinions, and he'll give them to you. Ask him, but also listen. It's good stuff. So thank you for doing this. This is a great addition to National Harbor. We're proud of Gaylord, and we're certainly proud of this new fabulous facility. Colin Reed, come on up.
Wow, that was one of Milt's shortest speeches. I said to Rashawn walking in here, I said, "What time's your next meeting, Rashawn?" And he said, 2 o'clock. And I said, "Well, I've got a plane to catch at 3. We may be in trouble." But first of all, I want to thank you, Milt. I want to thank our friends from Prince George's County. It's great to be here. I love coming to this facility. I truly believe, not because we built it, our shareholders paid for it, but I truly believe it is one of the great convention resorts on the planet. And, I always feel so proud. I had a breakfast this morning. I always feel so proud about taking people through that atrium and that area. It is so spectacular. Milt, I just want to say, by the way, your comments about Rashawn, I completely agree with. Yeah, he's a fine leader, but it sounds like you're running his campaign. Is that right? So I do remember the first time I came here, and it was early part of 2002, and literally this was like a big potato field with an eagle's nest. A potato field, and Milt picked me up, and we drove down here, and the car was filthy, and there was a little tent, and we sat about here, and he said, "I really do think this could be fantastic," and we sat there for about 2 hours, and about a year and a half later, I think we had our deal done. And it's something that I certainly do not regret on behalf of the company that I am privileged to lead. The other thing I want to do for correction here, Milt talked about when he came to us to talk to us about the casino. It didn't really work that way. What actually happened was I spent the weekend with Milt up at his place in Maine. This was probably 2004, 2005. John was there, and with the family. And we were sitting in Milt's kitchen, and he said, there's a push to do gaming in Prince George's County. He said, but I just don't want to do it. I just think this is crazy. And I don't like gaming. And I said to him, because my background, I come from the dark side, from a casino business. And I said to him, Milt, here's the thing. There are going to be casinos 30 miles away. You've got it. You just won't have any of the economic benefit unless you park it next to National Harbor. So that's how all that worked. And finally, we got him across the line, and the rest is history. But I'm very pleased this building. This is the first time I walked in it. I've been getting photographs literally every week. It is truly spectacular. And just forgive me a sec. I want to digress just a little here. One of the reasons why our company, we're a real estate investment trust. We own these very, very, very big convention hotels. And I was talking to one of Mike Stengel's bosses earlier this week, And I was talking about the difference between our company and most of the other real estate investment trusts that are in hospitality. Most of the other real estate investment trusts that are in hospitality are the buyers and sellers of hotels. They buy a hotel, they hold it for a period of time, and then they sell the hotel. That is not what we do. We have a business model which says we have these big resort convention hotels underneath the Gaylord brand. And what we do is we pick customers up and we rotate them through. So we as a company can't decide tomorrow morning we're going to sell this business because it's integral to the strategy that we have. So we get up every day thinking about how can we improve our business? How can we make our business the strongest it can be in the markets that we're in? And so that's how this thing got conceived. You know, when we stand here and we saw this land, we thought, my God, wouldn't this be fantastic if we could put a room here where our customers can literally feel like they're in an infinity pool going over the edge. And so that's why we deployed $25 million here to do this. 3 reasons we did it. Number one, we have the same vision for National Harbor that Milt does. We believe this is truly a spectacular playground and will continue to evolve that way. And obviously MGM is a part of that. 2, the second reason we did it, when a company like ours deploys capital, we have choices. Where do we put our money? We're in the middle of putting $90 million into a big water park facility in Nashville. We're in the middle of doing a $120 million expansion in Grapevine in Texas. And we have choices where we invest capital. And the second reason why we've been investing a lot of money in Prince George's County is because we do also, like Milt, have confidence in the leadership. The political leadership and political stability of a community is so important to us. Crime, safety, security, education, these are things that we don't take for granted. We absolutely need. So for us, you know, Rashawn, the leadership of this county, the people in this room that are part of your government, we owe you a thanks for the great job that you've done. And the third reason is our partnership with Marriott. Marriott, we started off our relationship in 2012, and it was a little bit rocky. And it took us about a year to whip these guys into shape. and we took the best of what they had to offer, our hospitality industry, and we implanted the best, you know, that we had to offer into their company. And I think we've now sort of come to a formula that is probably second to none. And so we have a lot of confidence in Marriott. We think our customers are going to really enjoy this facility. And I know we booked a ton of business, and I want to recognize in the front here is a gentleman who I haven't seen for probably a couple of 3 years, General Art Dean. As my description, Art was, before he retired, was a general in the U.S. Army and a great leader. But he leads this organization called CADCA, which is an organization that helps underprivileged youth. And Art was telling me when he walked in here that he's already booked this for his, is it in October, Art? October 19th. So, you know, if any of you want to sponsor it, the general, you know, the general will be happy to talk with you. But before I end, I just, what I want to do is I want to recognize the team that worked on all of this, because there was a lot of souls that did a lot of good things. So first of all, I want to thank the Ryman team, led by Bennett Westbrook, who's looking at his iPhone. Is he looking at your iPhone? Okay. Bennett Westbrook, who runs our design, construction, and development part of our company. Trail Webb, who basically was the project manager here. He did everything. And I also want to give a shout out to Patrick Chafin. Where's Patrick? He's in the back there. Patrick runs asset management for our company. He's a brilliant young man, and he's a senior vice president. He runs that side of it. Pat, I know you've been all over this, and I want to thank you. On the Marriott team, I want to thank Mike Stengel, for your leadership. I want to thank Doug, the general manager here, and his leadership team. You folks have done an awesome job. You know, you can't take walking into a room like this and the carpet's clean, the place smells nice. You can't take that for granted. These guys have done a tremendous job. I want to thank our architects. These are fairly unusual architects. We've worked with these folks for some considerable time, and they do most of our work these days. I want to thank the principal of the company, Scott Sickler. Scott, he was the guy that actually listened to us and designed this place. That was a joke, by the way. I want to thank another partner of the company, Liz Nicewander. Liz actually is married to Scott, so thank you. And Nate Johnson. Nate Johnson's here somewhere. I want to thank the guys from Clark Construction. You guys, again, in the construction business, you just can't take building something like this for granted. When we built this baby over here, you know, we started off with a budget of about $600 million, and by the time we finished, it was about $1 billion, because we just continued to, you know, add to this thing, and we got crushed a little as the construction industry was heating up in the 60s and the 2006 and 7s. But Clark has done a fantastic job here. They brought this project in ahead of time and on budget. And we want to thank you, Barry DePore. Hopefully you're here. David Takedi, Bukovic, and Paul Pinkard from Clark. Thank you guys for the job you've done. And last but not least, I want to thank everyone has spoken very highly of this guy. He is the Prince George's County Department of Permitting, Inspections, and Enforcement. And apparently you have, Hytham Hijaji has done a tremendous job making, smoothing the path here and getting things permitted as needed, and really helping to bring this on ahead of time. So I want to thank you all very much indeed. And now I think we want to do a toast. Cheers.